going on, guys? STF Gaming here. Today we got another retro deck profile on the April 2005 format. A lot of you know this as the GOAT format. I'm sure plenty of you who are into these retro deck profiles have played that. That's one of the most popular formats from the past that's played. So anyway, today, even though that's a pretty one deck format, I'm gonna try and showcase a couple of decks that you can play in that format that are very competitive. Today we're going to be taking a look at J. Kim's zombie deck. I don't know which Shonen Jump he topped with it, but he did top a Shonen Jump with it, so it does show that some other decks are viable. So let's just get right into it. Alright, so I just piled up all the cards and we're going to go through them real quick and see if they need explanation. Of course, you got the Sinister Serpent, great against Delinquent Duo, good for your Graceful Charity, stuff like that. You got the Reapers. Not too good now that everyone's running Exarian Universe. This deck was before that card was legal, but I still think it's a viable deck for the format. This card is going to be used mostly for hand control rather than defensive, I'd say. But it is a zombie searchable by Pyramid Turtle. Got 2 Magician of Faith. There's just a lot of good spells you can get with it, so it's not a light for chaos like the other decks though. Got Morphing Jar. You can get it with Giant Rat, that's something interesting, but Morphing Jar is great this format. Sangin, a lot of search targets. Exiled Force, interesting that he opts to run this instead of DD Warrior Lady, but it makes sense because it's an Earth for Giant Rat. 2 Pyramid Turtles, can search it off Giant Rat, and you can search the Vampire Lords and the Reapers, and of course itself. Yeah. 2 Giant Rats, get the Turtles or Exiled Force. Really good against most cards in this format. I mean, it's got 1450 defense, so if they try and pierce it with Exarian, it's not going to happen. Same thing with the Turtle, by the way, 1400 defense. So, yeah, you can get to your Vampire Lord early every game, pretty much. Tribe Infecting Virus. Just good removal, I guess. Nice body, too. 16. Breaker, best card of the format. At least one of them. Air Knight. Just get some piercing in, I guess. And then the Vampire Lord's the all-star of the deck. The reason I think this deck is good for you guys to try out is because of Vampire Lord. He's so easy to summon off the deck. And, so yeah, Vampire Lord just has those perfect stats for the format of 2000 attack. So that means it can get rid of over everything except maybe a Jinzo. It can go over an attack or defense position Exarian. It can get over Air Knight. It has a great effect. So it says if it's destroyed on your side of the field, that it's going to come back during the standby phase. So if they try to take it with Thousand Eyes Restrict and they, take it, just gonna let you guys know, once it dies off the Thousand Eyes, it will not come back, and that's because it says it has to be destroyed in your field. That's pretty much the only reason. So yeah, of course, when he deals any battle damage, you can call spell, monster, or trap, and your opponent has to discard one from their deck. I'd say the best idea is to call spell. Maybe always spell. Just get rid of their key spells. So yeah, that's a light monster package. Like I said, you're going to notice not a lot of chaos monsters in here. No BOS, not a lot of lights. I'm actually surprised Air Knight's in the deck. I think that'd be cuttable for like a Berserker or an Exarian Universe or something. Just to give the deck a bit more, beatdown aspect. Alright, onto the spells. This is an interesting spell package. 3 Book of Moon. I think the main reason for this is because in this format, if you guys didn't know, when your opponent summons Thousand Eyes Restrict and uses its effect, you can chain Book of Moon to flip it down and it can't suck the monster up anymore. So a good way to protect your Vampire Lord would be to have the Book of Moon to ensure it can't get stolen by Thousand Eyes Restrict. So the Book of Moon's there for that. Also, good out to Jinzo. It's just a good versatile card in this deck. Good out to Ring of Destruction. Whenever you can always save a book, so if your opponent can beat you by Ring, you just always have one in your hand to chain to Ring, so it can't destroy the monster and deal damage. Then of course you got the Pot of Greed. graceful delinquent duo, Trinity combo. No need for explanation on those. Heavy Storm, of course. MST, of course. Snatch, Prima. Can't really explain these staples too well. Lightning Vortex is a nice one. Without Thousand Eyes Restrict, this is a lot better. Obviously, you're not going to have as much monster removal without Thousand Eyes Restrict, so this is going to act really well in the deck. Alongside even Sinister Serpent, you can get some good value off that. Or you could just discard a zombie and then resurrect it with a couple of different ways that the deck allows you to resurrect them with. Next up is Creature Swap. This has a bit more recruiter monsters than usual. It's got these 4, as well as, I guess, Sangin. So you can always give them one of those guys, attack into it, get your Vampire Lord or whatever, and just be wary of scapegoats when using this. Your opponent can always chain a scapegoat to your Creature Swap, and then it's not that great. But even then, like I said, you're giving them a recruiter, so even if you get a goat from them, at least you can attack into the recruiter and get the card you need at the time. No Man, probably the best spell of the format aside from the Trinity. It really helps against flip effect monsters or just set monsters in general. That's why I like to run Ceasefire in a lot of my decks in this format, because even if I set my Exarion, I can protect it against Nobleman with the Ceasefire, or I can just do extra damage with the Ceasefire. But this deck does not run it. That was just a little reasoning behind why I like it. And then 2 Book of Life. I think that's pretty obvious in a zombie deck. It's really good in this format. You can remove the 1 light in their graveyard or the 1 dark in their graveyard if you want to play around chaos monsters. Obviously, it's good against the Sinister Serpent. And something weird about this deck is 3 Dust Tornado. I was trying to figure it out. I'm not sure. I get that you don't need to run Sakuretsu Armor in a deck like this, I guess, because you can always just set these recruiter monsters and you don't have to really worry about being attacked. Maybe that's why he doesn't run Sakuretsu Armor and opts to run these instead. Again, zombies without the control aspect of like Tsukiyomi, Thousand Eyes Restrict, maybe he wanted to be more aggressive with his deck and that's why he ran these, so he can always get rid of the scapegoats and stuff. So, in my opinion, obviously MST and Dust Tornado are really good in this format against Premature Burial and Snatch Steal especially, and Call the Haunted, of course. But yeah, you can do some end of turn Dust Tornadoes to get some pushes in and do more damage. So that would be my opinion on the 3 Dust Tornado. Then you get the 1-ofs. Ring of Destruction, nice little damage hitter, and then just some staples traps. These are always going to be staple as long as they're legal. So yeah, that's the deck profile, guys. What did you think about this video? Do you want to see more GOAT format videos? I think I could think of a few more. This is one I really wanted to get out there because I thought it was actually viable with the 3 Book of Moons. I think if it didn't run 3 Book of Moons, I would just pass by me and I wouldn't care about it because, you know, Vampire Lord just gets sucked up by the Thousand Eyes Restrict, and then your deck is pretty much just a worse GOAT format, right? But because of the 3 Book of Moons, this deck can really match up well against the GOAT format. Like I said, a lot of attack on the Vampire Lord, a lot of reasons to run this deck. So make sure to subscribe, guys. I just started up a couple weeks ago. Not getting the view count I was hoping for, but I understand I haven't made a video in 5 years, so just give the video a like, comment what you want to see next for retro deck profiles, and peace out.